Late regulation, game's tied. Howard misses the go-ahead three. Reese is already there, board, body, rim, right in front of her. Game on her fingertip, daylight. She missed it again. She tried to clean it up, lost the next fight. Horn, overtime, Fever closed at 95-91, and Angel's line still prints like a participation trophy. 15, 14, and 6. Double-doubles are how mediocre finishing hides in polite company. 3 for 13 in the paint is how the tape testifies. Then the cameras caught Caitlin Clark laughing, smiling, probably at Angel. What else could it be? And so this reminds me, remember when Angel was at LSU and she trolled Caitlin Clark and was following her around the court and smiling and doing the old this. Well, now there's this, Angel. Chicken's coming home to roost. The internet did not hold a hearing. The internet hit the upload. One website called it a brutal mockery. The miss and the grin became the same religion by this morning. For 5 years, Reese begged for the oxygen. Clark walks in naturally. Well, she got it. Coronation Saturday, primetime Sunday. When the moment asked for a score, she delivered bricks so pure they became content. The first, Maurice, I'm gonna start with you. You got the biggest smile on your face. Is Angel Reese?
Jason, what a day. What a beautiful Sunday. This was better than any day I could have spent at the beach. This was awesome. My thing is, why is that the fire starter? What is the big deal? The girl came into this game, the last 3 games, shooting 26% on layups going into the Fever game. She had a game of 1 of 13 on layups, 3 of 13 on layups. Angel Reese has been a disaster. It's just nobody really cares unless Caitlin Clark is on the floor with her. That is the reality. Angel Reese stinks. She's garbage. She's been terrible, and I've been saying it.
While Angel Reese was serving up comedy specials at the rim, Caitlin Clark decided it was time to step into the kitchen and cook. Not just for her own team, but for every analyst who claimed she couldn't handle playoff competition. And let's just say, Chef Clark handed out full plates to everyone.
Done versus the playoff teams. Well, how about it, Jason? The last 3 games, Chef Caitlin Clark stepped up in the kitchen versus 3 playoff teams. Scat versus 3 playoff teams. Caitlin Clark, 25 points, 10 assists, 3 straight wins. She even cooked up a couple me-bounds, a couple McDouble-doubles for Angel Reese. That's all she cares about. She got her double McDouble. Go away now. It's time to talk about a real GOAT. Caitlin Clark, 25 points, 10 assists, 3 wins versus 3 playoff teams, stepping in the kitchen. My grandma used to go in there. You couldn't go in grandma's kitchen. She go in there. She said, well, I said, Grandma, what you making? I'm making a pot of something. I'll let you know when it's ready. She come to that porch and huff that cigarette. Go in there and get you a plate, boy. Who would have known the little white girl from Iowa knew how to whip a pot of something?
Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. They're rambling on about Angel Reese because they agreed late last week. Hey, this whole weekend's about Angel Reese. We got this story we're going to put out on ESPN.com championing her as the greatest rebounder since Dennis Rodman. And then they tell the 3 stooges of the WNBA, hey, look, we don't care what goes on during the game. We have agreed this weekend we're celebrating Angel Reese come hell or high water. We don't care what Kelsey Mitchell does. We don't care what Caitlin Clark does. We don't care what Alicia Gray does or Ryan Howard or anybody. This is about Angel Reese. We're celebrating her. This was all staged. And then you look up at that graphic and it says 3 of 10. While the mouths are saying catalyst. That is not analysis. That is a protection racket. When the player says she's playing like SHIT and the network says superstar, somebody's lying. And it isn't.
ESPN, wipe your mouth off. You're disgusting me. Clean yourself off, ESPN. clean yourself off. The Angel Reese glaze has reached an absolutely new level. Clean yourself off, you filthy animals.
But it's actually Indiana that has 7 points off of the turnovers that Atlanta has created until we saw Angel Reese, shout out to our teammate, Angel Reese in particular, her energy shifted. I thought when she got some of
her energy shifted. Somebody who was what, 2 for 10 at halftime, 2 for 9 at halftime. Monica McNutt.
But it's actually Indiana that has 7 points off of the turnovers that Atlanta has created until we saw Angel Reese, shout out to our teammate, Angel Reese in particular, her energy shifted. I thought when she got some of those easy baskets to go in the paint that quite frankly she had struggled with to open the ball game, that's when you saw this defense begin to pick up its energy, this dream squad to begin to play with a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, athletes know it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And she finished 15 points, 5 for 16, and missed the game-winning shot. Ladies, clean.
Your thoughts?
Well, firstly, Angel Reese is the gift that just keeps on giving, because as pretty much the entire sports world is shut down for the dog days of August now, leading before we get the NFL mercifully to start, there's not much to watch, but Angel Reese keeps just absolutely making a fool out of herself, and it is undeniably must-see TV, and it just explodes all over social media every time she has a 2 of 13, a 5 of 16, and it's not just the poor shooting. They point-blank shots, and I do have to take some exception to what Charles said about how she's long, and I believe the word he used was athletic. She doesn't look athletic at all. She has no burst, no explosion. She can't dribble at all. I honestly think now that I've watched several full games of Angel Reese, she may be arguably the worst basketball player on earth.
Asking her to score anyway. Angel Reese wanted to be Caitlin Clark's rival. She was smart enough to see the financial benefit of being attached to Clark. Every segment, every thumbnail, every forced debate. Proximity to the biggest magnet in the league is a business plan. But there's a price too, and now she's really starting to pay it. Her lack of offensive skill set next to Clark's is a hatchet chopping at her reputation. People delight in Reese's failures. Not all of that delight is pure. Some of it is ugly. Some of it is tribal. A lot of it is earned on the tape. When you climb on the rival ladder, you don't get only the endorsements. You get the full comparison.
Just when the national media thought their manufactured rivalry could permanently protect Angel Reese, reality collided with the hardwood in the most humiliating, unforgivable fashion imaginable. For 5 straight years, ever since their collegiate clash at LSU, network executives and biased pundits desperately tried to sell the public on the illusion that Reese and Caitlin Clark walked on the exact same tier of basketball superstardom. But inside the pressure cooker of Sunday's overtime clash between the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream, that fraudulent narrative completely imploded on live national television for the entire sports world to see.
With the game tied in the closing seconds of regulation, after Ryan Howard launched an air ball, the basketball bounced straight into Reese's lap, right under the rim. 0 defenders in her airspace, point-blank range, a wide-open game-winning buzzer beater. And Reese produced an egregious, uncoordinated brick that immediately sparked viral mockery across social media, as Caitlin Clark laughed in disbelief.
The tape does not lie. Angel Reese entered this marquee matchup shooting a disastrous 26% on layups over her previous 3 games. Against Indiana, she delivered an all-out comedy of errors, shooting a brutal 3 for 13 in the paint, clanking uncontested fast-break layups off the front rim, and getting repeatedly stuffed at the cup. Outraged analysts and former players were left asking the uncomfortable question: how can a marquee player scheduled to represent Team USA at the FIBA World Cup lack basic post footwork, mid-range shooting, or finishing touch around the glass? Yet at halftime, instead of honest basketball journalism, ESPN's studio panel went into full PR damage control. With Reese sitting at a dreadful 3 for 10 and admitting herself on national TV that she was playing terribly, commentators shamelessly spun the broadcast, crowning her an energy catalyst.
That is not sports analysis. That is a blatant media protection racket designed to defend a lifestyle brand rather than evaluate real basketball. Outspoken critics like Jason Whitlock and Benzino immediately blasted the network, demanding commentators stop making excuses for unplayable fundamentals. When the player publicly admits she is struggling and the network insists she is a superstar, the credibility of the entire broadcast completely evaporates.
Meanwhile, on the opposite end of the floor, Chef Caitlin Clark put on an absolute soul food clinic. She stepped into the kitchen and dropped 25 points and 10 assists, dicing up Atlanta's defense with surgical precision, carrying her squad through heavy foul trouble and delivering Indiana's third consecutive victory over top playoff contenders. Clark proved once and for all that genuine basketball greatness cannot be manufactured by marketing campaigns or protected by biased studio panels. The final buzzer delivered the ultimate verdict, an emphatic 95-91 Fever overtime victory, leaving the skill gap between Clark and Reese wider than ever. So let me ask you, is ESPN's blind protection of Angel Reese actively hurting the WNBA's credibility? Or did Caitlin Clark officially put this rivalry to rest for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more unfiltered basketball breakdowns. Thanks for watching Basketball Central. What do you think about today's story? Do you agree with our take, or do you see it differently? Let us know in the comments. We read them all and love hearing your opinions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Basketball Central, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest WNBA news, breaking stories, and in-depth analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.